Hey everyone, this is Alexander James Guitars, and on this episode of Fix It Friday, we're going to be rewiring this Tele. Today we have this Telecaster that needs a full rewire done. This is a Telecaster owned by the guitarist of I Mother Earth, and he's told us that there is a 250K pot in the volume here, and he actually wants it switched over to a 500K. So we're going to do that, clean up all this wiring, put in cloth wire, and we'll be good to go. First off, I'm going to look what's going on here. We have some disconnected wires, so I've got to figure out what's going on there. This switch is pretty much shot, so I'm going to have to put a new one in. And some of these wires are all taped up. They're all pretty much going to have to be redone. I know that this pot completely has to come out, so I can just actually clip the leads off of it from the pickups. So here we have one of the pickups, the hot lead, the ground. Here's another one. Here's the ground. The white is the hot. I'll take all that tape off. Here's the bridge ground right here. We'll take that off. So we're going to have to redo that all. And then right here, this black and white wire, this is where the output jack connects. So we're going to take those off. And redo them onto the new pot. I've taken the blue tape off of the bridge pickup and actually cut the entire lead on the neck pickup. So right now I need to restrip all of these wires, solder them together, heat shrink the ones that need to be heat shrinked. So I'll do that now. So I've uncovered the shield. I have a mask on, so that's why I sound so weird. I've uncovered the shield here, and the hot will be in the middle. I absolutely hate this braided connector on the outside for the ground. So what I usually do is just take a piece of black wire. I'll put some heat shrink over this, then solder this in and use that as the designated ground for this pickup, and then shrink the heat shrink over this so it won't short anything out. Just much nicer than trying to undo this braid and get it long enough so that you can reach your grounds. Now just trim the excess of the braid. Pull up the shrink wrap. I'll take the new pot and put it in the control plate. I'm now going to start working on all of the hot connections for the control cavity. I use white wire to indicate that, and I'll use black for ground. And this is the cloth pre-tinned wire that I use. It's much higher quality than some of the stuff you sometimes get in import guitars or even other guitars built here in North America. Just push back some of the cloth. I'm going to solder that in now on the tone side. Then I push that cloth up against the tone side so I can solder the volume side, but there will be another connection going to this lug. So you just kind of want to keep it empty right now to save yourself some hassle later on. I'm going to solder this black wire right here to the furthest lug on the volume, and this will be the position in which I ground all the components. Solder the ground from this lug to the back of the casing of the volume. Now I'll solder a wire from the tone control to the volume control for the ground. Just roughly tack that there now. Do the tone side, and then go back and hit that with solder. I'm now going to solder the output jack ground to the back of the volume and solder the hot of the output jack to the middle lug of the volume. Now for the bridge ground. I've taken out the old three-way switch and put in a new one, and now we're going to wire that up. I want to connect these two terminals here and then bring it over and connect those two to these two. And then the pickups are going to go this terminal and this terminal. A little bit of wire here. And I'm going to use this wire and bend it into a U to wire it between these two terminals. I'm going to solder the neck pickup to this terminal here and the bridge pickup to this terminal here. The reason being is that in the forward position, it's making contact with this lug, forward for the neck. In this position, it's making contact with this lug, and so back towards the bridge for the bridge pickup. Now I'll take some wire and wire it from the switch to this open lug right here on the volume. Now I'm going to turn it over, screw it all back in, test, make sure it works. So I'm just going to check the pickups. Here I have the back position, so this should be the bridge. Good. And then check with the neck. It's perfect. Middle should be both. Good. Good. Neck should be just the neck. Good. Perfect. New volume. And there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode of Fix It Friday.